Edouard, if you can introduce yourself and tell us.
Yes, Edouard de Lencquesaing. I belong to Paris Europlace, which is the financial center of Paris, and I launch a cluster, Finance Innovation, that's trying to boost innovation in the financial industry. Which is important to understand is that innovation is at the core of the finance industry. Finance industry is an industry as any other industries. We have laboratories, kind of laboratories. We have innovation chain inside the banks or insurance companies and fund managers and so on and so on. What is important is that we coalesce all this innovation, but not just in the sake of the financial industry, but in the sake of the overall interest of the customers. And the payment is at the core of that problem. For a very long time, the responsibility of bank was the safety of payment. And that is absolutely key. You have your own money. You need to know if your money is safe somewhere and nobody else will use your money except yourself. And that is a very simple question, but it's very difficult to solve. Then what is happening today in the payment industry is that in reality, new technologies are trying to dematerialize all the chain of payment. The payment is not just the tip of the iceberg, it's all what's under it. And under it, you have the ease of payment, the ease at the shop level, at the real shop or the virtual shop. It will be the same process of payment, and we are enlarging all the processes around the payment industry. And what is new is that today all the frontiers between these chains are probably disappearing. And the payment by itself is not anymore the issue. The issue is the safety, not just of the payment, but the safety for all the data or the knowledge about the customer. And who want to know about the customer? Not just the banker, but also the shop, the sellers. Then now it's very interesting because you know that when you pay something, the cost of payment is negligible. And before, in the old world, we have to pay all the conditions of safety, of identification and enrollment and all those things on the earnings of the payment industry. Today, probably, we'll have to share all those investments which serve, in the same time, information about the customers, safety about the sales, safety about the payment. Then the syndrome is totally new. But if it's new, who owns the function, the functional payment? Who owns that? And obviously, you have a war. There's a war between the telecoms, between the industry provider, or all the technologies, about the distribution networks, obviously, and also with the banks, which are in charge of the safety of the last chain of payment. Then when you have a war, usually it takes more time. That's why we have to be innovative in 3 layers. We have to be innovative because the business model will change. Then we have to understand what would be the good business model without categorical interest, which will not obviously going in the right direction. We need to be innovative in the correlation between the different usage of the payment. And we have to be innovative on the underlayer technologies, because behind the payment, there's a lot of technologies. And in those technologies, you may have some technologies that will try to capture the access of the chain in the interest of one of those different actors. That's why at Finance Innovation, we try to be a real cluster, meaning bringing all the stakeholders around the same table and trying to define the best process. In France, as has been just said, we have been very successful in the last 20 years. And that is good, but it's a danger, because the new world will be totally different.
Do I understand you try to reproduce the carte bancaire success, which means that all the banking community come together and agree on the standards for the benefit of a user? sorry, I'm talking about me being a user again. I understand what you say. I understand well that it's new, it's take times, and you try to speed up the process of getting people together. But when? Has the state a role to play in it? Who can help speed up the process?
I think we're trying to help. We are trying to gather, to merge all different initiatives from the financial cluster with another cluster based on usage in Normandy, in the TESS, and a cluster driven by the distribution part, PICOM, in Lille. And the idea is not, what we want to do is to prolong a success. But probably the rule of the success will be a bit different from carte bancaire.
Yeah,
that's why we have to invent a new model, bringing all the different compartments. And that's what we are trying to do around gathering with those two layers. We need to have a high-level vision of what would be the new models, because there will not be one model, there will be probably several models. And also, bottom-up, trying to boost all the SMEs that are innovative and try to push them, because we don't know what will be the end of the war. We don't know what will be the success story at the end. We still are testing a lot of combination of ideas. Okay, that's why we have to have in France, for instance, as many as possible experiences on all the different layers of this chain, and having this vision and bring together the vision and the layers, the bottom-up layers. That's what we are trying to do in the short term.
Thank you.